as the Milwaukee Bucks beat the Nets 107-96. For the Brooklyn Nets, Kevin Durant dropped 28 points, 13 rebounds. For your Bucks, Giannis had 34 points, 12 rebounds. Chris Middleton had 19 points. Kyrie Irving left the game in the second quarter after spraining his ankle. It's a significant ankle injury for Kyrie Irving right now. So question for you, Clarence. The series is now tied at 2 games apiece. I am still shocked at what's taking place right now in the Eastern Conference, playoffs right now between these two teams. What was your biggest takeaway from Game 4 as your Bucks even up the series?
Well, my biggest takeaway from this was, they defended home court. They defended home court against a top team in the Eastern Conference Finals in the Brooklyn Nets. I feel like they kind of did a good job, neutralizing like Kevin Durant though. And, it was unfortunate. It was unfortunate that Kyrie Irving got down with the injury, and we wish him well. I don't want to wish that. I don't want to wish bad on anybody with an injury. So I'm hoping that he'd be able to be played like further in the series. But I just got a question that he was out. Yeah. He was out Game 5, so it leaves the Nets in a tough one. But I'm excited that the Milwaukee Bucks be able to get the W, Trey.
I bet you are excited because your Milwaukee Bucks done lucked up all of a sudden, and now after getting beat down in Brooklyn, at one point they trailed by 50 points. They're on the cusp of taking a lead in this series. If you would have told me after Game 2 that coming back to Brooklyn that it would be tied at 2 games apiece, I would have told you you don't know basketball. I would have said that's not going to happen. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. And here we are, Clarence. Game 5 tomorrow night in Brooklyn. The series is tied at 2 games apiece. I believe when you look at Game 3, your Bucks lucked up in Game 3. They should have lost Game 3 in my opinion. And the only reason they won Game 3 was because of Bruce Brown. I told you that contested layup that he took late in that game was an awful shot in that moment. Kevin Durant should have touched the basketball. Yes, he should have touched the basketball. But when it comes to Game 4, after Kyrie Irving's significant ankle injury, Kevin Durant wasn't the same. Kevin Durant shot 6 of 19 from the floor. And while P.J. Tucker was guarding Kevin Durant shot 3 of 11 from the field. So P.J. Tucker's been playing some physical basketball, and that's been the difference in the series. But I must admit, Clarence, as I've been watching these games, especially since they've been playing back in Milwaukee, and I know you don't want to hear this.
I want to hear it.
But since they've been playing back in Milwaukee at the, what is their arena called in Milwaukee? The FedEx Forum? I'm not sure if they playing at the Forum or they playing at Lambeau Field because it's been physical. The refs was letting P.J. Tucker just manhandle Kevin Durant like this. These are fouls. They not making the calls. P.J. Tucker just all up in KD, and I'm like, damn, is the refs gonna blow the whistle? Like at some point, you have to blow your whistle. You have to, put KD on the free throw line because P.J. Tucker is getting physical, and the refs are just allowing it. But you know what it is? This is the only chance the Milwaukee Bucks have. They have to get physical with Kevin Durant because you can't stop Kevin Durant other than getting physical with him. So I'm just wondering, are they playing? They playing football. It's not basketball.
Yeah, I just think this series is getting very intense though. Now that James Harden and Kyrie Irving are both out, now this is all on Kevin Durant. I've been seeing on social media today like, how can Kevin Durant still lead this team into winning this series? And people were saying like they held LeBron James to this type of standard. Now, would you be able to hold Kevin Durant to this type of standard? Now the Bucks, they struggle. They struggle through this series. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
They ain't put up 90 points in the last 2 games. The Brooklyn Nets ain't put up 90 points in the last 2 games. This is the first time this season that they haven't put up 90 points in consecutive games.
Yeah.
So it looked kind of different on their end, though, because that they wasn't playing their ball. They weren't playing their ball.
But do you believe? I want you to address what I said about P.J. Tucker. Do you believe P.J. Tucker getting away with a little bit too much? Because I want to read this statement. I want to read this statement real quick by Steve Nash, head coach of the Brooklyn Nets. This was Steve Nash on P.J. Tucker. Steve Nash says, quote, "He's playing extremely physical and made it difficult. That's his role in their team, and I thought it was borderline non-basketball physical at times. But that's the playoffs. You have to adapt and adjust. Something definitely, in a sense, changed from the way the game was played in Brooklyn and here in Milwaukee. So there's a difference in how the game is being officiated from Brooklyn to Milwaukee. And I think that's the difference right now in the series, besides the fact that Kyrie Irving is injured, besides the fact that James Harden is injured. I believe the Milwaukee Bucks are getting more physical with Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets, and I believe that's why. You see Kevin Durant struggling from the floor like he's been. Like in this game, he went 9 of 25 from the floor. He wasn't efficient at all. But again, I give PJ Tucker credit because he's getting away with it. But I think the officials need to do a better job of calling fouls on PJ Tucker when they need to be called.
I just think PJ Tucker is just playing like good basketball. The refs is letting these guys play, man. They're playing it out. They're getting physical. That's what NBA playoff basketball is, man. Like, that's what it is. And another thing Chris Carter said Tucker was able to do that because the security guard ran up on him. But the point is, PJ Tucker probably felt he did feel some type of way about the security. So he wanted Kevin Durant to be known like, hey, like you don't need security to defend me. So he was in a good mood. He was feeling good. He felt like he was locking up KD. He was in KD's head. KD couldn't do as much as KD does. So I don't think he was doing too much that the ref should have called fouls and stuff. It's basketball, Trey. You get physical in the playoffs.
This ain't Lambeau Field. They play at the Forum. Okay, I thought I was watching my Packers out there for a second. Like what PJ Tucker, they need to give him a tryout as for a linebacker for my Green Bay Packers. We need linebackers, PJ. Come. Yeah, we need linebacker help for sure. They need to go ahead and give PJ Tucker a tryout because he's been just physical. I'm like, what the hell is going on? But also I want to say this about Kevin Durant because I'm of the belief that I think Kevin Durant, when healthy, is the best player on the planet. And I've even said at times that Kevin Durant is even better than LeBron James because I think with Kevin Durant's scoring ability and how he's a gifted scorer and he is unstoppable, he has no deficiencies offensively, Clarence, whatsoever. But I will admit, we're about to find out if Kevin Durant is truly the greatest player on the planet because now he doesn't have no one else to rely on when it comes to another star to help him carry the load. It's just him. And LeBron James had this responsibility for years in Cleveland. Okay, so now we're about to find out what my man Kevin Durant is made of because I think now he has more responsibility to carry the scoring load for the Brooklyn Nets. You don't have Kyrie Irving to rely on. You don't have James Harden to rely on. In previous years, when he was in Golden State, he had Steph Curry to rely on, Klay Thompson to rely on. Now, Kevin Durant is out there on an island by himself. So we're about to find out what my man Kevin Durant is made of. I think he's up to the task, though.
So let me ask you this. Does this game give the Milwaukee Bucks any momentum to win this series?
Oh, yes, definitely. The Milwaukee Bucks have all the momentum to win this series. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go so far as to say all the pressure is now on the Milwaukee Bucks to win this series, Clarence. The pressure is now on Giannis and Chris Middleton to deliver for you and your Milwaukee Bucks to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. Because now that Kyrie Irving is out and James Harden is out, Kevin Durant is playing with house money. He's playing with house money. No one expects the Brooklyn Nets to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals now that Kyrie Irving and James Harden is out. And I believe now the Milwaukee Bucks have the superior team. Okay, so I think all the momentum is in the Milwaukee Bucks direction, and I believe all the pressure is now on the Milwaukee Bucks to beat the Brooklyn Nets in advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. So I think they got the momentum and the pressure on them at this moment.
I think, the Milwaukee Bucks, they're feeling real good about this victory. They're feeling good. Giannis played a good game. Chris Middleton, he didn't play a good game. Defensively he did, but offensively it was a little iffy. Yeah. But I think this gives them momentum to win this series now because the other two stars in Brooklyn are out. But I wouldn't count the Brooklyn Nets out this playoff series so fast because they still got like Blake Griffin, Jeff Green, Joe Harris, the Bruce Brown, and KD still. So you got enough to play with. You still got enough to maneuver around and win this series though. But if I'm the Milwaukee Bucks, I'm going into Brooklyn right now and hitting them right in the face until the whistle is blown, until I see 0 on the clock. I am being aggressive as much as I can so I can be able to get the W in Brooklyn. So therefore, when I go home, it'd be more easy. I'm playing in front of the home fans. We'd be more settled though. But by then, I think James Harden and Kyrie Irving should be returned back Game 6.
And they did talk about how now that Kyrie Irving is injured, they were talking about possibly the Brooklyn Nets rushing back James Harden because Kyrie Irving is out. So it makes you wonder if James Harden is close, will they, make him play in Game 5? You know what I mean? Because Kyrie Irving's out. So now the emphasis on having James Harden in the lineup, elevates, and they're not going to rush him back because Kyrie Irving got injured. This is going to be on Kevin Durant's shoulders, and we're going to see what happens from there.
I just think, though, Trey, before we get into the next question, I just think, though, for James Harden though, like it's about that time though. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause he's been out since game 1. He had time to rest it. He been doing his drills. Like this team is in need of another star. Cause Kevin Durant, he needs that second star to like they can create their own shot and facilitate. Because for KD, he's a scorer. He's looking to score. He wants to score. So when James Harden's coming back, I think it's more comfortable that he come back than Kyrie Irving, though. You know?
But I don't think James Harden's healthy. If he's not healthy, you can't rush him back because Kyrie got injured. If Kyrie didn't get injured, they wouldn't be rushing James Harden back.
If I had to give you a guess, I think he's like 75%.
Do you think James Harden gonna play in Game 5?
No, he's not. They already declared him out.
Okay.
I'm just saying for like Game 6, he needs to be in Game 6.
Yeah.
One of them stars, Trey.
We'll see I know Kyrie Irving won't be in there Game 6. Kyrie Irving's gonna be out for a significant amount of time. Kyrie Irving really rolled his ankle. Like he rolled his ankle and he had all his weight on his ankle and it rolled like it was a bad significant injury. I don't think we're gonna see Kyrie Irving the rest of this series. We'll see what happens in the Eastern Conference Finals if the Nets are able to advance. But question, for you, last question of this segment: who wins Game 5?
You know what? As I got, since the Nets are dealing with significant injuries, the Milwaukee Bucks, they on a hot streak. They defend the home court. I'm rolling with the Bucks on this one, Trey. I think if Giannis and them, they have to have a game plan in order to go in Brooklyn to win in Brooklyn. You have to have a game plan because if you let guys like Blake Griffin or Joe Harris get off and all, like the game plan is blown up. So I think you need to neutralize the shooters, and you need your primary focus to be on KD. I think the Bucks will go into Brooklyn and win it. I think this series might go to 7.
Wow, you got to go in 7.
I think
Giannis and Chris Middleton should be able to pull this out in 6 without Kyrie Irving and without James Harden.
They should.
They should be able to win this in 6.
They should.
Let me tell you something right now. You just said it's gonna go 7. Yeah. If it goes 7, your Milwaukee Bucks gonna be in trouble because Kevin Durant could give you 50. Listen, all you need is KD to pull out one win. One win, if you go to a Game 7, anything can happen. And you know Kevin Durant gonna drop 40. He gonna out of all the uncertainties, we got uncertainties about whether Kyrie Irving is gonna rejoin the team. We got uncertainties about whether or not James Harden is gonna return back to the lineup. What I do know is this: Kevin Durant is about to drop a 40-piece in Game 5.
That's the problem.
That's what's about to happen.
That's the problem. That's why if you're the Milwaukee Bucks, you got to go in there with a game plan, though, Trey. You got to go in there with a game plan. Don't let Kevin Durant go off for 40. When you're going off for 40, Game 6 is really going to be pivotal. But I think if the Bucks go in there with a perfect game plan, a nice defensive scheme for that particular game, they can pull it out. Yeah. I see Milwaukee actually winning this game.
What I'm saying is this: I think if Milwaukee want to win this series, they got to win Games 5 and Game 6.
Yeah.
I think if you go to a Game 7 in Brooklyn, in KD house, I'm picking Kevin Durant. I'm picking Kevin Durant because I know Kevin Durant can drop 50. He can drop 50. He can have a game like Kobe had when he dropped 81. But I think Milwaukee is just take the ball out of his hands.
Man.
But I think Kevin Durant capable of dropping 50.
Yeah.
I think he can drop 50.
Chris said Nets in 6. The only way it's gonna be in 6 if your man's KD dropped 40 points.
It's gonna have to happen.
It's gonna have to happen, Trey, though, man.
Because I don't really like you asking me to trust in Blake Griffin, Joe Harris, Bruce Brown. I mean, come on now. What am I supposed to do with these other guys?
If you can get serviceable minutes and points from those guys, KD will be in good position to win you the game.
Yeah, what you need those guys to help you throughout the first 3 quarters of the game. Get the game to the 4th quarter and let Kevin Durant close.
That's true.
That's the chance that the Brooklyn Nets have. But like I said, man, I want to see if Blake Griffin can turn back the hands of time.
So who you got?
Maybe he can. Maybe he can turn back the hands of time. Who I got winning Game 5? I picked the Brooklyn Nets in 6 in this series. You know I'm a Kevin Durant fan. I think Kevin Durant's the best player on the planet. I think Kevin Durant's going to put on a show tomorrow night in Brooklyn. I think Kevin Durant's going to drop a 40-piece on the Milwaukee Bucks tomorrow night. And I think the Brooklyn Nets will head back to Milwaukee, leading 3-2.
You just got that bad.
Yep.
That's why.
No, I believe in Kevin Durant.
Yeah. It's going to be a tough one, though, right there.
It's going to be a tough one. But I believe in Kevin Durant.
All right. So